right, let's see what we got.
I have one here for you. It says for the group. My dad left my family when I was 3 and basically has never been a part of my life. My daughters, 6 and 4, have asked me time and time again about him, but I've just been telling them you haven't met him yet. I'm having a hard time explaining this in his absence because of the language. What should I use when explaining it to them? I don't want them to have any fear that I would leave or my husband would leave. Have you guys gone through this, or can you help me through it? How should I explain it to them?
Oh, Orlando, you're more sensitive than I am.
You got to be sensitive.
You're the cuddly one.
You just got to get. I'm the cuddly one.
Another size reference.
I mean, I would just. It's hard, and you don't have to always be a total honest. Like, don't give them everything at once. They're young. Let them. You want them to still be able to dream and have their stuff. Like, they still want to hope. They still want to have, like, the positive parts. You don't have to give them the whole reality thing on their shoulders so young. And just keep answering the questions, like, or trying to. And not really, like, trouncing somebody for leaving. I've seen people build up a whole bunch of stories and stuff, and then it's hard to keep the lie straight. And when you get frustrated, you're going to blurt out the truth, and then that's going to be more of an abrupt Band-Aid tear for them. So I wouldn't build it up that way because you'll stack yourself to fail. Just be honest with them and kind of how you're saying it. You haven't met him yet. And then you could say, people live on different sides, or, hey, he had some things he was going through. You can soften the blow. So that's what the only thing I would add, because I ain't proficient in that.
Keep the innocence a little bit longer. They're only 4 and 6.
That's the only part I'm happy about. Just like, don't blow out the kids that way. Let them be kids.
Mm-hmm.
So.
We have one from Meredith out the 863. It says, Meredith Therapy Thursday. My girlfriend of 4 years is not happy with me in our relationship. She is bringing up a situation from 1.5 years ago where I talked to an old friend behind her back, even though nothing happened. She says I betrayed her trust and thinks that I cheated, but I did not. We just talked. What can I do to help her get past that? And I have the feeling that she wants to break up with me. That's where she is at right now. I love her very much, and I don't want to lose her.
I wish I knew how old this couple was, because this sounds like more of a younger situation.
Yeah.
Also, I have been in situations where the relationship wasn't perfect and I needed an excuse to kind of get out of it. And I just wasn't mature enough to kind of just be like, listen, I love you, but this isn't working out. So this could potentially be an example of that. Maybe she's just not happy. Maybe she just doesn't want to be in a relationship anymore. And sometimes you need to just flat out ask that person, is this working? Do you really want to be with me? Because I feel like I'm the only one that's trying to piece this relationship together. Okay, I made a mistake in the past, but it's really not horrendous. I mean, we can learn and move past it. And I said I never cheated. You have to trust me at some point. But it sounds like maybe she's using that as an excuse because she just wants to move on with her life, but she's in love and she feels guilty.
We mentioned this to somebody before. It was something like, you can spend your time digging in to try and find out what happened. I'm telling you, it didn't happen. If you got to do that, that's fine. But at some point, you're going to have to either trust me or not.
Make a decision.
Make a decision. Because I know I didn't do nothing. So whatever you got to do to feel good now,
right?
Get it all out of your system because I didn't do nothing.
Yeah.
And the guilty guys say that too. So let them dig around, let them not find nothing. But at some point, you're going to have to tell yourself, all right, we good.
Well, you both don't want to waste your time either. Like, if you're not going to be together anymore and she's not willing to be with you, then why are you wasting your time?
All right, this says free for all. I'm going to toss this towards Davi.
Okay.
It says, why is it so hard to find love? You can find somebody to chill with, somebody to call when you need to, but impossible to get to the love part. What's wrong with love?
Nothing's wrong with love, but love is one of those things that is incredibly hard to find. You're trying to find that one person that you can drop everybody else for, and that's not an easy commodity to come up with. At the same time, you can't force it. That's one thing that I think a lot of people do is they try to force it and they try to make it happen faster than it's supposed to. Like in my situation, my girl and I met each other when we least expected it. She had just gotten through a breakup. I was not in that mindset at all, and we were just placed in the same situation. situation. So I think love might just come and get you when you least expect it, but at the same time, you can't force it. You can't force things. You can't make a situation into something it's not. So just continue on working on yourself, becoming a better person, and that energy and that aura will attract the right person to you.
Aura.
There you go. That aura.
That's right. That aura of that
It's that aura or that aura, depending on whatever side of town you from. Aura or aura. I will tell you this. Somebody smart once said, you can't, everybody wants to find love, but it's almost impossible to find something that you can't identify.
Ooh, that's hard.
Like, how can you look for a kid without the sign saying this is what the kid looks like?
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
They would have never found Baby Tinsley without Baby Tinsley's description of the car. You got to know what to look for.
Yes.
Yeah, you got to love yourself and then find somebody that makes you feel that same way.
Not just yourself, but what if you never seen love? What if you never saw your dad love your mama? What if you never saw your grandparents love each other? If you've never seen it, you don't know how to find it.
Okay, so get a puppy and then find someone that makes you feel like that puppy.
That puppy love will do something good you right there. That's good stuff, all right? Yes, it is Therapy Thursday, 888-429-0941. They're rolling in. Meredith, you got one.
They have the issues, dog.
You got a long one, Meredith.
Oh, okay.
All right, it says this out of the 813. This question is for Meredith. I have a 2-year-old. Oh, you got a pen?
I'm focused. I am. I'm focused.
It's a lot.
Okay.
All right, I have a 2-year-old and I have a 5-month-old.
Okay.
I just found out that my sister-in-law is coming to stay with us for 2-3 months because her son is having a procedure here, so she's going to stay with us. This stresses me out because she has an issue of talking to my 2-year-old like he's a cute little puppy. She baby talks him and treats him like a baby. He uses correct words for a 2-year-old, and I think, and she tries to correct his words to cute little nicknames because she thinks that it's adorable. That doesn't sit well with me, and it never has. We work hard daily to make sure that he uses the correct pronunciations of words and also on his behavior. He's an amazing 2-year-old, but when he gets around her, he regresses and starts to act like he is a completely different child. His whole behavior changes. He starts to whine, to cry, to throw tantrums because she coddles him. I don't want to stress her out because she's already stressed about her son's surgery. But I feel like I need to have this conversation. But is it too petty to have that conversation? Last time, to correct her behavior when she leaves, it took 2.5 weeks to fix a weekend's worth of damage.
Wow.
I can't even imagine how long it'll take to correct 2 months worth of this damage. How do I deal?
Okay, this is all about protecting yourself, your sanity, and then also protecting your kid because you don't want anything to regress in your kid, which you've obviously seen. This could lead to potential issues with speech therapy in the future. Seriously. So you need to have a sit-down conversation with her. As your house, you got to make your rules right up front. And if this is something that could be detrimental or at least set the kid back a little bit, and you work so hard on your children's development, you got to be completely open and honest. And yes, her son is going to be going through a lot with procedures, but also you're opening up your home and your life for them and welcoming them in, and you're going to be there for her. She needs to be there for you as well. So you guys can both meet in the middle. Just make sure you got to sit down and be like, no more baby talk. My kid is 2 years. Why are you looking at me like that?
Meredith.
What? Baby talking a kid?
Real.
That's
on Therapy
it.
Thursday, Meredith.
She needs to be honest with her. 100%. That would be really annoying to me.
Can they just talk baby talk for couple weeks, whatever, and then you go back to raising your military child?
I have to no,
Your
because
military child saluting and doing the military corners on his bed and all that stuff at 2.
Right.
That's fine.
But
when the
you're setting
real
your kids
family
back.
show up and you're setting them back,
But
how
this
long?
is her parenting style.
But I mean, that's fine. But family comes in and you got family who does things differently
All the time.
and it's weird and
Right.
it's awkward and
Yes.
you know, hey, who put the toilet paper the wrong way? Whatever. You get over it and they go home.
You know how
And then
annoying
can
it is when you have to deal with a
have your
kid,
back.
though?
I'm just saying, don't be. You know what? My advice: slap yourself.
Slap herself.
You asked Meredith
What?
for a reason because you knew Meredith was going to fall into this whole. Oh my God, I understand. But I'm telling you.
First of
telling
all,
you right
Orlando,
now,
I do understand.
Of course you understand.
Yes, I do.
That's why she asked you.
Okay.
If she'd asked Davi, what would you have told her?
I always get so much heat with the parenting advice because it's gonna. Well, you don't have no kids, so you don't understand.
But what does your gut tell you?
I think the kid is a little too young to kind of be dictating the way everybody else talks to him. To not baby talk a baby is kind of
not supposed to do that.
Not supposed to. I think I see what she wants the best for her kid. Right. I think she is doing the most a little bit.
You're doing the most. That's all you got to do is say you're doing the most.
Mm-hmm. Well, people are texting in on my side.
Yeah, a whole bunch of women.
It can set your kid back. I mean, it really can.
How long though?
You can start stuttering issues.
Listen, there's things that happen to you at 2 that you cannot remember.
Sure.
That has nothing to do with who you are right now.
Yeah, but my mom can remember.
But check this out. 2 months of your life, somebody came into your life and started speaking broken English, and there was a whole bunch of he-bees and she-bees and we-bees, and you still are articulate Meredith.
Yes, somewhat.
It didn't
on the
matter.
radio.
It didn't matter.
Yeah, somebody baby talked Einstein, Elon Musk, Zuckerberg.
Oh, little Zuckerberg. Now he's out there creating stuff.
I thought you were supposed to judge during Therapy Thursday, Orlando, or my advice.
Well, we got some more judging to do. I have one for you, out the 813. This is from a lesbian couple. It says, so me and my girlfriend have been... Me and my girlfriend have been together for a year and some months. We dated before when we were younger, but now it's like we argue about almost everything. I love her. She was my first love, but it makes me not want to be in a relationship with her. What do I do?
Well, all right, first of all, it's, the lesbian thing, I did perk up because I was like, oh, yeah. But you know what? This is just a story about love. And it's like, it gets that way. It gets the way you start arguing and uncertainty in relationships makes you start acting out of pocket. Basically, because it's an imbalance. Y'all talked about it earlier where everybody get physically sick or whatever. When you get to that point where you start liking somebody where you're thinking about them more than yourself, there's some imbalance there. There's some tug of war in your own inner struggle. And then that person responds and they have a struggle. So that fighting part, that's part of love.
Yeah.
Yeah. But we always say learn how to fight with somebody you love. Don't go for the jugular all the time. Like you can try and fight somebody and kill them. And you can try and fight with somebody and get past it because y'all can get better. So, fighting isn't the bad thing of a relationship. Not being able to get back from a disagreement is the bad part. So those little fights and stuff like that, the faster you learn how to fix them, the better relationship you'll have. Don't just act like they ain't never go. People who tell you we never fight, well, then y'all don't really know each other. Like, you know what I'm saying? Like you can't never fight. You can't never disagree. You just got to be able to get up off the mat as a relationship. So I think that's dope.
Do we have time for one more?
Yeah, we can.
Okay, this one is it says all of us. I want to throw this one at Meredith because I feel like this is kind of relatable for her.
Oh, okay. Well, I'm sure y'all will correct me anyway.
No. We're not going to say a word.
This is your area of expertise.
Oh, God. Here we go.
It says, my mom and I get into arguments all the time.
Oh, you and your mama.
Wait. Start over.
It says, my mom and I get into arguments all the time.
Okay.
We always have, and I've even stopped talking to her for a year before. We've been doing better, but last week she really tried me. My daughter's hair was breaking due to medical reasons, and my mom called me an unfit mother. It was a huge argument, and it's been a week. I love my mom, but how do I get her to understand that she crossed the line, and how do I make a better relationship with my mom?
It's okay to set boundaries and make definitive rules in certain relationships that you have. By the way, distance can really be helpful between parents sometimes. Your mother cannot speak to you that way at all. And if that's how you feel, you need to put your foot down and stop talking to her till there's an apology out of her mouth or until she understands that she can't talk to you like that. Saying that her daughter is an unfit parent. I mean, those are words you cannot take back.
She said the U word.
Yeah, no. And it's completely unacceptable. And that's not a very loving person or somebody that's going to be there for you at this moment. By the way, that being said, it doesn't mean that your relationship can't heal or she can't learn from this in the future. My mom and I have had our issues in the past, but just, like last night, we were giggling and laughing on the phone for like 30 minutes and things can totally be healed and get much better. So think of how better off you'll be by taking a little distance or a little break right now, and make sure that she knows she can't do that to you or your family.
Your mama is not supposed to speak to you like that, but mamas can't.
You can't take that back.
I mean, okay, so what if she didn't say unfit? What if she said, you don't know what you're doing? That's the same thing as unfit. It's just a slang way of saying it. Because mamas have said that.
Right.
Girl,
it
you
is
don't
about
know what you're doing.
presentation.
Hold that baby's head. You out here, you don't even know what you're doing. You don't know nothing. And grab a baby from, I've seen it 100 times.
Okay.
So, because you didn't call him unfit, is it that, because
it's
mama's
about
basically
presentation.
telling you don't know what you're doing. Give me this baby.
Right, you can be corrected and you can learn new things to help a situation, but to be called an unfit parent for medical reasons that's happening to your daughter is completely unnecessary. And by the way, when something bad is happening to your daughter and you can't help it out, or your son, there's nothing worse than that. So she's already going through pain and now you're just sticking her with a knife. I mean, that's not cool.
Your mama though, man.
That does not matter. You can have boundaries. And by the way, your relationship can get better because you set boundaries.
All right. Okay.
It's okay to have boundaries with family members.
you are the expert on this because you got a little bit more like, because honestly, I can argue with my mama, but ultimately your mom's gonna be right. She could be wrong, but she's
right. Always gonna think she knows best.
You should be dead wrong.
Yes.
Yes, mama. Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am. You're gonna end up giving in because it's mama.
Well, you don't have to be punching bag either.
Yeah, that's true.
So just know that.
That's true.
And by the way, she said the word unfit. She said, I don't know how to take care of my children.
That's what I was saying. Like, unfit hurts. If it's said a softer way, meaning the same thing,
right,
is it as bad? Like, if you don't call somebody an unfit mother, because that's a label.
Yeah.
But if you like, girl, what are you doing? You don't know what you, give it here. You're saying the exact same thing, just in a conversational way.
Right, but if you want to keep a relationship with your family that you love and your daughter, maybe you shouldn't say such words like that. I mean, would you ever talk to your parent like that?
Nah.
That's what I'm saying. Like, there's a respect factor here, and obviously she doesn't care.
My mama found that weed. I think I was all kinds of unfit that day. I just had.